Just you and me, bashful lovers. Just you and me, we take it slow. Just you.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rebecca and basically I'm a junior in college. I go to UTSA, I study cybersecurity, I love technology. And today we're going to be taking a look at how you can use your iPad Pro as a dual desktop for your Mac. Right now I wanted to put my Mac on a screensaver so that it looked cute, and my iPad is actually mimicking it, and it just makes me so happy at how seamlessly it works. And I really think this is something that's beneficial if you're doing something art related or even something work related, just to have a little bit of extra real estate on your desktop. So if you would like to learn how to do this, just keep on watching. So I have my iPad open because I have a couple of notes that I want to share with you guys before we take a look at how you actually install the software that we're going to be using, because there's a couple different options, there's a couple different alternatives, and I want you to find the one that works best for you. So to begin, I want to take a look at what iPads this actually works with. The software that I'm going to be using supports any iPad that is running iOS 7 or later, any Mac running 10.9, I believe that was Maverick, or later, and then all PCs and Windows with Windows 7 or later, which honestly blows my mind because personally I didn't even think about using this with a PC, but obviously it makes sense. Not everybody in the world owns a Mac. This one specifically is for the app called Duet, and I'll cover why I think that this is the best option a little bit later, but I do want to show some alternatives that I found on the App Store. So there are actually several third-party apps that you can use. There's more than just the one that I mentioned, obviously. And one of the ones that I saw when I was browsing through the App Store was called AirPlay Display 3. And it actually got some pretty good ratings from articles. However, in the App Store, it only had 2.5 out of 5 stars. And that kind of bothered me. I'm definitely the person that will go onto Yelp and like look at the restaurant's ratings before I go, because other people's experiences are important. This one is $10. I believe it also has the capability to use your Apple Pencil. I didn't look that deep into it. Most of the articles I read said that it was best used as only a display, so if you don't want to have like the touchscreen capabilities, you're still going to primarily be using your Mac as the mouse. That would be when that app would come in handy. Not 100% sure. Again, I didn't look too far into it just because I kind of already had my mindset on which one I was going to be using. There was also iDisplay, which was $14.99, and again, similar story. It only had 1.9 out of 5 stars, which was even worse than the last one, which again, concerning. Not really into that. The last third-party app that I saw and I was kind of interested in was Good Dual Display, and it was only 99 cents. Again, y'all, it had 2.5 out of 5 stars. I was like, why do all of these apps have terrible ratings? And there was actually one person that said that it ruined their Mac. So I'm not really sure. In the review, he said that he had to go to the Apple Store and actually get his Mac completely reformatted. So wasn't really calling my name. I wasn't really drawn to it after reading that. I kind of want to protect my Mac. My Mac is my baby, and I want to make sure she's healthy. Overall, this is why I decided to go with Duet Display. So Duet Display has 4.2 out of 5 stars in the App Store, which again is a lot better compared to our competitors right now. It also costs $10 a month, and then there is a subscription-based service. However, I believe that when you're paying for software, it's okay if there's a subscription, because you're paying for maintenance, you're paying for updates. They have to continue to like work and build on the app, and that's not free. You know, people get paid to do that. It's a job. So it's $24 a year for the full premium suite. I believe there's also one that's $10 a year, but for what I wanted to do, I just went ahead and went with the $24 one. Again, it's once a year, so it's not a crazy price or anything like that. Interesting fact about Duet Display is that it was actually developed by a former Apple engineer, and I think that's why it's doing so well and working so flawlessly, because he probably understands Apple's ecosystem and how to make it run most efficiently. Now that we've looked at a couple alternatives and decided that we will in fact be using Duet Display, I hope that I also convinced you to use Duet Display. Again, I just feel like it's very reliable. I'm gonna start opening up the website and getting everything installed. The first thing that you're gonna do is go to www.duetdisplay.com. They make it super easy. There's 2 big blue buttons at the top of the screen. One says download for Mac, the other one says download for PC. Download whichever one applies to you. Once it was downloaded, I opened it up through Finder, and I had to go into my system preferences and I'll give it access to my Mac. A lot of you know that Apple's really big on security, so if it's an application that's not coming directly from the App Store, you have to approve it through your system preferences. It's under a section called security and privacy, I'm pretty sure. After you've given it access and it's done its thing, it'll prompt you to restart your Mac. Your Mac will, again, restart itself, and while your Mac is doing that, you're gonna move over to your iPad and download the Duet Display app. Again, this is where you're gonna pay that $9.99. I think that it's a really good price for the service that you're getting, especially even the subscription. It's a pretty good price for everything that it's allowing you to do. Installing it, again, this process is really easy. You're just gonna download the app like any other. There's a few welcoming pages. It has you give them an email to create an account, or maybe I just signed up for like subscription letters. I really hope I didn't sign up for junk mail, but it had me enter in an email, and then that was pretty much it. After that, you're gonna take whatever cable you're using. My Mac is USB-C, my iPad is USB-C, so just simple USB-C to USB-C. Plugged it in, and immediately, I'm not even kidding y'all, immediately my desktop was on my iPad. You can move your iPad and Mac around and have it placed whichever way you prefer. So in your system preferences, again, I believe it's under a category called display. You'll be able to see two squares on there. When you click one, it'll highlight the screen red of whichever one you're clicking. So if I click the Mac button, my entire Mac screen would be outlined in red. Same thing for the iPad. And you can drag them around so that the arrangement is whichever way you're using it, and it knows which way to move the mouse around. I feel like this isn't the best explanation, but you know what I mean, and you can kind of see on the screen what I'm talking about. Personally, a big reason why I wanted to do this is because I use an animation software called Motion. It's created by Apple, and I use Final Cut on my iPad a lot. So having that extra real estate and being able to spread out was very beneficial for me, especially given the fact that I can use my Apple Pencil directly on my animation software. Took me a second to get that sentence out. I'm just gonna show y'all how I use my animation software, because this is kind of what I was talking about in my last few videos. Again, I do have a video on how I am a paperless student, and also why I got the new iPad Pro, where I kind of reference what I'm trying to do today. Basically, I just opened up Motion and moved it over to my iPad, and then I used my pencil to draw directly on the software. I know that there are tablets such as the Wacom tablet that do something similar, where you can connect it to your Mac and it'll draw for you. I really was not a big fan of this because, first of all, what they don't tell you straight up is that you pay extra, like you pay for extra software to be able to draw. So unless you already have like the Adobe suites, they sell their own software, which is just really weird, especially if you're already paying like $100 up for this tablet. The reason I'm a big fan of the iPad, and yes, I am still paying for software, but this iPad does way more than that tablet could ever do. I also use this for my notes at school. It's pretty much a full computer. It's not comparable to the Wacom tablet at all, and that's definitely why I ended up returning that tablet and getting this iPad. That is pretty much it for today's video. I really just wanted to show y'all how easy it is to actually use your iPad as a dual monitor or desktop for your Mac. I really hope that I inspired y'all to try it out and try something new with your iPad. Use it to its fullest ability. That's why you bought it. It is more than just a Kindle. It's more than just a tablet to watch Netflix. Try something new with your iPad. You know, it's kind of like, why buy a Porsche if you're only gonna drive it to the gas station, you know? But yes, again, that is all. If y'all have any video recommendations, please drop them down below. I really want to start doing some more videos focused around animation and video editing, and again, just anything technology related. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!